right, welcome back. We've got a game against Poland in very short while. I'll just give you the quickest summer update so far. Um, Only two things to tell you. One is that Kit Simons retired, and the other thing is that our captain, Gary Speed, did the same thing. We had sort of expected him to do that after last season, so it was a surprise that he carried on one more year. I don't know whether he has stopped believing in the whole World Cup qualifying project or what it is, but he's retired and that's his decision. Yeah, the Gary Speed that we know from this save game um, has been just perfect for us and for me as a manager in Wales. He's probably the one player that has played the most matches for me. I think he was a regular on the in the starting lineup from the beginning in '97 when the game starts, and now what almost 9 seasons later, well he'd still be one of the first on the team sheet if he was still around, but now he's retired, and well, thank you for your service, Gary. It's been a pleasure. Now we're going to have to come up with something new in the central midfield. Good morning. I don't know if it's morning for you guys, but it is for me, and I'm working from home today. But first, yeah, I really got to play this match, and I've got a surprise for you. Um, well, I changed the formation, and I guess Dave Black will be happy to see this experiment. Well, the main reasons was, well, actually, I was using the whole formation with the wide wings because I had expected, uh, well, because of Ryan Giggs, of course, but he can also play centrally, and then because of Robbie Savage, but he doesn't get a lot of matches for Blackburn at the moment. I think he's only played one. Um, and and then I changed to this formation among other things because our strikers are failing. So I wanted two of them because Carl and Andy Davies, they're not getting any playing time at all, even though one of them is playing in the first division. Still, sucks. So two of them should be better chances of getting some goals. And also just one guy in the central midfield was fine. I brought back Steven Savage in order to play this. So he's got the left wing back and Steve Jenkins on the other one. And then Pugh in the middle. I don't know how this is going to work out, but I do know that contrary to what I had expected, then a lot of the players that I thought would be playing well, because actually we've got a lot of players in the Premier League this season, so I thought everything would be great. But I've been following them up close this first month of the season, and a lot of them are just not getting any playing time at all. I mean, it's well, it's mostly the three Welsh players in York that are getting playing time, and one of those is Jeff Williams, who is the captain in York and has been playing well. So I don't know if I'm using him wrong or something. So I'm giving him the chance in the central defense again, and as captain for Wales, because, well, who else is there really? I mean, I do have Ryan Giggs, but he's not. He's got influence 15. But really, we don't have Gary Speed anymore, and we don't have Robert Page either because he's injured, long-term injury. So this is what we've got, and I'm kind of excited to see how that'll go against Poland. But we've got to play our chances, and we do need a win in order to get enough points to get a playoff match. Oh no. Jenkins injured right off the bat. So let's get Simon Marola on. Okay, this seems like a hard-fought battle. Lots of free kicks to begin with. But this is a cool formation. I've tried it before in another of my saved games. Not one that went out on YouTube or anything, um, but I think that the story is, as I remember it, you can find it on Dave Black's website where he explains about the tactic and stuff. But I think it was sent to him by someone else. Um, but really, it's one of those formations that sort of exploits the fact that a lot of goals in Championship Manager 97-98 come from rebounds. Is it called rebound? It isn't, but I can't think of the word right now. Rebounds is like it's a basketball word, isn't it? But anyway, um, from corners and free kicks and whatever, if something happens and the ball doesn't quite uh, get kicked out of the defensive zone, then a goal might right. So a goal might be scored by some of the attacking midfielders we've got right behind the two strikers. So let's see how they're playing. Oster and Davies and Giggs. Well, it's not impressive so far. Only one shot on target. So I don't know exactly what's up with this, but maybe it takes some getting used to, this tactic. But and maybe it is stupid of me to try something so different. But we really need the win away against Poland. Dubsky. Yes, Oster. Okay. Those two are actually by far our best players. So I also wanted a formation that could capitalize on that. I mean, Giggs and Oster, those are good players, and they're playing well in the Premier League, which the rest of the team isn't. Well, most of them aren't. But let's see what this looks like. The players, right? So some of them are doing well. The central defense is playing well. Steven Savage, maybe not so much. Carl Robinson, I don't know. He gets a rating of 8. I don't know why exactly. Because it's not very impressive what he's doing. And Andy Davies just isn't really having a great day at the office. So I'm going to bring on John Hartson instead of him. That's a foul from Robinson. Big Dubsky. That's a cool name. I mean, it's one of the names that when you see it in writing, you just have to try and pronounce it right. So Oster and Robinson with the yellow cards. I don't know. By the way, I don't know if this is interesting to you guys, but Giggs is playing really well in Man United this season, and he's playing a new position. He's playing the central midfield for them. I noticed that, and I went and checked after each of their games, and he does play the central midfield because there's some other guy that they bought, uh, Luc Le Dessy or something like that from France. I remember him from the All Star team I made, but from the Euros. But he's playing. The French guy is playing on the left wing. So Ryan Giggs is playing central midfield and playing very well. He's also playing very well for us, um, but um, but not really getting the rating that he's earned today. I don't know why. So maybe I should substitute one of the players with yellow cards here. Why not? So I'll try removing Carl Robinson, and then Giggs can go down there and play the central midfield, which I know he's perfectly capable of. Let's try that. Okay, yes, so John Hartson. And that should secure the victory. So this is, I don't know, this is sort of the whole formation thing, and this win against Poland. It's desperate. It's desperate measures in a desperate situation because I've been looking at the groups, the qualifying groups, and it's not quite as I remember it from the last World Cup qualification, but apparently, and I should go back and check, and I thought I had been back and checked, but I didn't do it thoroughly enough, apparently, because there are 9 qualification groups, so obviously only 8 of those teams will get to play playoff matches, and I'm not sure how that works. But I really hope we get a playoff match. But we're in one of those groups where there are only five nations competing, and most of the groups have 6, so they get more points. So if it's if the weakest, if the team with the fewest points will just get discarded and the rest of them play against each other, then we're in trouble because we have, after 6 matches, we have 10 points, and well, those are the other groups with only 5 teams. So this group looks fine. They have fewer points than us. Czech Republic in second place have more points than us, and then well, that's group 4. They also have 5 teams, same amount of points, but one more match, and then we get to all the groups that have a lot more points than us because they have one more team. Yeah, so I'm not feeling secure at all, but I think maybe with the new formation, well, I hope it has piqued your interest anyway, with the formation change. We just have to win the 2 matches against the weakest 2 teams in our group, and then hopefully we're fine. That's all we can hope for. That's all we can do by now. I mean, we've only lost 2 matches. Those were the ones against Portugal, and then we've got a draw, and that really bugged me. The draw against Albania, that was really unnecessary. But, well, if we win the last 2 matches, then everything should be great. And then hopefully, oh crap, another broken leg. So I'm gonna have to look at the options. I do need at least, well, I do need 2 or 3 players who can play each suspension, each position in this formation as well. Or maybe I can just go back to the old formation. But I'll have to go and check, because right now I can only think of Marola, who can play as a wingback on the right side. It's wingback positions, right? It's a weird formation, 2-3-1-2-2. So you can look it up if you want to. In the information beneath this video, you should be able to click see more or whatever it is, whatever it says, and then find the direct link to Dave Black's website, where you can read about this formation under hints and tips, I think it is. It's worth checking out. It might not work for you, but sometimes it just works like a charm, and gets you a lot of goals from especially the ones behind the forwards. Is my experience anyway. So I'm gonna go and check one thing before I leave you guys. Thinking about this formation just made me want to see if I search for right midfielders, will anyone show up who is just a defender on paper? No. Right. So when this guy, Andrew Chappell, he has some caps, but he's not being used in Fulham at all. And now Steve Jenkins is out. Who's this guy? Oh yeah, I remember having looked at him. Not only looked, I actually gave him a cap for some reason. But he's playing in Barry Town. I have no idea what that is. So probably I'll just go back to the old formation. Well, I could try the opposite kind of search, this one, but there's no one who's just a midfielder who turns up in this one. Anyway, I might go and check in the editor to see if I can find out about some secret positions. I don't know who that would be. No, probably I'll just go back to the old formation. But this was a fun experiment that I might return to when Steve Jenkins or someone is back, or maybe if I come up with a different way of making it work. I don't know. But anyway, thanks for watching, and the next match that we've got is Lithuania. Well, in about a month. So, and hopefully I'll be seeing you for that match and the one against Albania, and hopefully 2 playoff matches after that. Right. See ya.